like data running through my veins. Got you distracted, subconscious overloaded. Careful, don't pull the cord on me. No time to stay around. Keep walking till you get out of my face. Regrets, rest.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hey!
Hopefully all you
The,
caught that
God.
amazing intro and
So,
stinger animation.
Hi, everybody.
Wait, hold up. The borders are in the right place, but the names aren't.
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
what?
the borders are separate from the thing, and then I haven't remade
yeah.
the outline border yet, so
Oh, I get it. Okay, yeah, because we technically have two borders.
yeah.
I am
so
they
still
on
Sugar
that,
Melly then.
Well,
But-
you all
Wait,
have
no,
name
no,
tags on the bottom
I'm Sugar
now, so.
Melly.
No, Melly, look, you're looking at the name underneath your border, but not above it.
Zippy, if you read
Oh.
these
Yeah.
borders,
Yeah.
it'll say the correct name.
However, I do want to point something out before we get started. That a lot of the new presentation you've seen has been done by Trev recently. It's very good. It looks very cool. and we look easily 65% more professional today than we did the last time we did.
Caster
Yeah.
Tampers.
Shout out to Trev. When was the last time
one
we
step
did?
closer for Mixer to outreach to us and be like, "Yo, you guys want a contract?"
Any day now, I'm gonna get the text from Shroud. He texts me a lot, and it's gonna say, "Hey, it's time for you to come on over."
Yeah, you guys are like
Mixer's just gonna be like, "Yo,
yeah.
we need these people."
Oh my god, so everybody's talking about Temtem. And
Yeah.
Yes, I heard about this.
I'm so excited.
well, Rory and I were thinking about getting it. And
Well, it's still in beta, I think, because they're not releasing the full game until May, March. I think
It
around
was
that time.
described to me as like Pokemon.
It's Pokemon, Digimon, and Yu-Gi-Oh all in the same game.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
That's
is like
genius.
your one childhood game, but like
Yeah,
every
exactly,
single one
yeah.
of them mashed together.
Yeah, I remember as I was watching someone stream it during like beta, like when they were handing out just keys and stuff before we had this like mass early access thing, and I messaged Morgan. I was like, "Have you ever heard of this game? Because I think we'd love this."
I feel like everybody found out about it at the same time. Like I didn't hear about it at all, and then now all of a sudden everybody's talking about Temtem.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jared, call me when they add Beyblade. Yeah. I saw a couple streamers streaming it like that day, and I was like, "Oh, cool, what's this?" And yeah, I feel like everybody knew about it immediately.
I know AJ streams it. I've watched the Ash I Mod 4 stream it, and then I think that's it.
Don't you mod for 2 ashes?
Well, no, because like, I was gonna say like, because you guys, I was thinking one of you modded for her as well, like Spinachy, but you guys don't, so then that's why I said only one of the ashes.
Oh, okay.
My Belgian streamers were streaming it. I have a Belgian streamer.
Yeah, I think Temtem looks
They make
really
waffles.
good, actually.
I
wish. And I'm excited to try it actually and see what I think of it. And it's not like an unreasonably priced game either, and that makes it a little more digestible.
Yeah, it's not like 60 price tag. I think it's 40 or something. And that's...
Yeah, I can only buy so many like full price, like looking at 80 Canadian dollars. You know what I mean? Like,
oh
you
right,
can only,
because for you,
you can
a
only
lot
dish
more.
so much out of that. But that's the thing, because like when you see $60 like in America, like you can rationalize that as being not much above 50, whereas 80, you're thinking this is almost $100 I'm spending on this.
It's closer.
Yeah.
It's closer to 100 than it is 80 or 50.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like,
Yeah. So it's like it makes me a little
That's
nervous,
when you gotta make those tough decisions and be like, either get this and I don't eat for a week, or like we just
exactly. Yeah. So Melly, you mentioned just before we started, you were talking about the Outer Wilds, not to be confused with the Outer Worlds, an entirely different, unrelated game.
Yes, I first found out about this because a friend of mine who is on Twitch sometimes, he told me he was playing Outer Wilds and it was just incredible. And
Was
I
they one
literally
of the
thought
people who requested the Nemo song?
no.
Oh, okay.
I literally thought he was talking about Outer Worlds. So I was like, oh yeah, like I know a lot of people playing that. He's like, no. It's like this mystery kind of game where you just have like, you have to like basically like save the world in 22 minutes, I guess, is like
In
what the time
22
limit
minutes?
is.
That sounds like the shortest game ever.
Well, but like the whole thing is like you don't really know where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do. So like if you don't achieve the objective within 22 minutes, you have to completely restart. So it's almost like that day, like what's it called, like the Live Die Repeat movie?
This sounds like
Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt.
Yeah, where you kind of it's like Groundhog Day. You keep
Yeah, I was just
reliving
gonna
the
say
same
Groundhog
day. You keep reliving the same day, and like every day you find out more information.
this
but
game
then
sounds like a speedrunner's like fantasy.
Yeah,
Because you have
exactly.
to
That's
do it
exactly
in
what it is.
quick
I
and
think,
Oh,
then
people in
like-
games
I think
are quick,
somebody's-
yeah.
they did it. I think they did it. Ref for GDQ was done in 14 minutes.
I didn't watch it. Morgan, we didn't watch that one, did we?
No, unfortunately, since I was at OhioCon for most of the weekend, I ended up missing a whole lot of AGDQ, which I was super sad about.
But it looks really intriguing. I definitely want to try it.
That's a true story, Zippy, by the way. Yeah, exactly. If you want to raise the price, it has to go past the public opinion department. You need a certain number of people willing to actually buy it. And if they raise the price in America and then it raises the price in Canada, now I got to spend more than 80 Canadian dollars. I'm starting to get real nervous.
But put it this way, it's like back in the day, we were used to paying like $20 for PS2 games, and then like some games would charge you like 30, and we're like, this is outrageous. And then like some games we try to get like 40, and we're like, what the hell? And then now it's every game is 60 flat, unless like it's a.
Well, like one of the things I've learned is that first before I say it, I want to say Zippy, me and Morgan watched that the GDQ Untitled Goose Game, of course, and we really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
That one was done in like a minute, wasn't it? Like a
well,
minute.
It depends on which
there were
with
two.
glitches and whatever. It was like a minute and something.
Yeah, there was you had to get through all of the places run without like doing. I think there was like maybe one tiny glitch that the guy did that was not considered a glitch.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the gate.
Yeah, so he got through the entire thing, I think, in about 14 minutes or something like that. And then somebody did any percent, which an any percent just means as fast as you can go, glitches, whatever you want to do. And it was 2 minutes and like 33 seconds or something like that. It was
roundabout. Yeah.
It was hilarious.
It was
That's
really
insane.
Oh my god, I love seeing stuff like that. It makes me laugh.
But what Trevor's saying is like 100%. This is like one thing I found like in my world, in my job, is like if you wanted to be a professor in the 50s, you would not need a PhD, right? In some cases, you can get a job with just like a undergraduate degree, right? There's an economics professor who's like 1,000 years old at my old university, and he just has a regular undergraduate degree. And then they like slowly like bring up the requirements. It's like, okay, now you need a master's degree, now you need a PhD, and now you need a postdoc. And it's like everything seems to go that way. And it's like if you do it slowly enough, people don't really notice or they don't really mind.
But
or
if
they
you
just
look
are willing to accept
over it at like a time frame and like see it, just like it's just a steady curve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I
Melly,
like the sound effect, Trev.
Yeah.
Melly, are you gonna get Outer Wilds?
I think I am. I was just like looking it up. I guess I don't want to get on it. You said it was on Epic?
Yeah, so that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
So that's not. I'm not
So
gonna get
what
it
you're
through
saying
Epic.
is you're gonna wait and then wait
Just
till
wait till
it comes
it's on
on
Steam.
Steam inevitably.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I guess is it on? I don't want to. I mean, I'd love to play it on as soon as possible. It is on PS4, so I could do that. But it feels like
you can do that. Yeah.
But it seems like it'd be better as a. I like first-person games on PC.
We're not even a year in the PC club, and now everyone's just like, I'd rather just get it on PC.
Well, there are some games, honestly, that I even feel like that with. Because like my time at Porsche, I actually got way before I actually got well, not way before, but right before I got my PC. And the load times on because it was on Switch. Load times on it were atrocious, and I think they kind of fixed it, maybe from what I've heard. But load times on Switch were terrible. Like 5 minutes, like a 5-minute wait in a line is not long at all. But like 5 to 7 minutes for a loading screen on a game,
that's pretty long.
It's an
that's a
eternity.
lot.
Yeah.
That's
And
like
so that
I'm putting this down. I'm gonna go do 5 different things and then come back. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally kind of what it was. Like even sometimes going through like doorways and stuff, it would take at least 2 minutes just to go through a doorway. And booting up the game was like 5 to 10 minutes. And they did this massive update, and I wasn't able to play it at the time because I couldn't update it because I didn't have a micro SD card. And then when Trev gave me his free copy of it because he didn't want it from oh my god, I can't talk, from Humble Bundle. I hate saying that.
they did that on purpose too.
Humble Bundle, which thank you again, Trev, because I love it. But I cannot believe how fast load times go. Like so for some games, like that is a lot nicer. And The Witcher. On The Witcher, it's so much faster.
Hey Zeus! Oh my god! What's up?
Zeus, thank you so much for the sub. 3 months.
That's the first new alert you guys saw. With,
It's really good to see
subscriber.
you again, Zeus. How are you? I hope you're having a good week.
And if any of you want to know what that music was from, that was from Space Jam.
We're gonna need a console update and then probably a game update. Time to go make a sandwich. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I ended up not playing it too much, and then as soon as I got it on PC, you know, it was so much quicker and it never crashed or anything. And so there are some games that I definitely feel like I like better on PC. First person, definitely, I do understand that.
Well, I feel
I'm
like
pretty-
games that have long loading times are generally better on PC. Because like Monster Hunter,
Yeah.
when I played that on PS4, a lot of that time spent playing was like waiting for the quest to load, waiting for something to load, and like on PC, it's done before you can even like click it. I'm like, yo, this is
There's
like you're just there.
Honestly, that's one of the like appreciable differences about when we had Ash on the podcast, we talked like
Speaking
quite-
of Ash.
Speaking of that.
Speaking of Ash.
Also, this is the
wait, is
second
Ash here?
new
Oh,
alert.
shit.
Hey.
Okay, so
Oh.
I was
this is
literally
the Jason Derulo alert.
the
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to
Please.
watch the VOD later so I can hear this.
Hi, everybody.
and everyone, hold up, I need to catch up on all the
Please no,
people
make
who
my
came.
ears bleed. Were they really loud? I
Hey,
might
Mia,
have to
how are
lower
you?
them.
Good to see you again. Freda, Classy, who else? John.
We did fix the names,
who is
Classy.
everyone?
Are the
Well,
alerts a
kinda,
little loud?
but
Well,
I will fucking end you.
Trev needed to make sure everyone heard the
Yeah,
Jason
I needed
Derulo.
everyone to know that Jason Derulo was. It wouldn't sound like Jason Derulo was hosting.
The only star. Welcome. It's good to see you. I'm not sure if we've ever met before.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So clearly, I need to
Be
go
really careful,
lower the.
Cyrodian. Trev holds a lot of power around these parts. He's a mod. The
Is it a modding if it's your own channel? Isn't that just the owner one?
classy. We're working on it. Okay. It'll.
Yeah.
We'll fix
Listen.
it, okay?
It's a one step in process. All right. Look, we have these cool other things too.
Oh my god, Tom's here.
That was probably loud as shit, and I apologize for everybody's ears. I didn't fix that either. I'll be
Oh
honest.
my. Hey. Scorp sub. How are you?
Oh, that was fine on
Good to see you.
volume? Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, so I just got to fix the actual alerts.
Hurts my feelings. Hi,
What were we saying? What was I said something about Ash, and then Ash arrived, and I don't.
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
were
no,
saying-
I know
we were
exactly
talking
what I
about
was saying.
something.
No, because we talked pretty extensively when Ash was on the podcast about because of course you guys are relatively new to PC gaming. Trev coming up on a year now.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple like appreciable differences that you'll notice, right, when you step on over. But I honestly think load times are actually one of them that often get overlooked as like an experience thing because you're just used to a certain level of load times in the PS4.
Graphics is also another thing I noticed because like I played The Witcher on PS4 and then I got
my
it
God.
on PC and I ran everything at ultra epic settings and I was like, man, it's night and day.
Witcher on PC is so beautiful, honestly. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is a very
I'm
good-looking
kind
game.
of dreading my Death March playthrough because I want to play my New Game Plus Death March run of Witcher, but I have to do it on PS4 if I want
Nah,
to do the
just
New
it
Game
on,
Plus.
just do it on
Oh,
Xbox.
that's true.
Because I want, yeah,
Just start
so I'm
over.
kind of
it's fine.
bummed.
Just start over. It's
I
fine.
think
You've only
I
been
think-
playing it since August.
I looked. I have like 180 hours in this game.
Really?
I think I need a break. from
Only
it.
180.
Yeah,
Oof.
you're like
That's child's
that's
play.
pleb. That's what. Yeah. Oh gosh, but I want to do the New Game Plus with Death March, so that's.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna need a break though, so that might be a little while.
What do you think you're going to play next? Do you think you're going to do Resident Evil 7?
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 for sure.
I'm excited about that one.
I thought you
Yeah,
wanted
me
to do
too. Yeah, me too.
the Fallen Order, unless you were doing
I
that
do.
off stream.
Yeah, I'll probably like alternate them.
Mhm.
So I'll do like because like obviously I've been playing one game for so long. I think I want to go back to alternating.
Right,
So
Tom.
Right. No, because Tom was there for like 800 of those hours.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
so
one of the people I played with.
Oh, okay.
you played 200 hours of Fallout 4 last month. How's that been going?
Wow.
Zeus is an infinitely more patient man than I'll ever be.
Pleb.
Aww.
Listen,
I mean, as long as you weren't
this
playing
boss battle
Fallout,
fight-
what was the latest one? That 76.
76.
Yeah. As long
Oh,
as you weren't
boy.
playing that for 200 hours, I'd be like, yeah.
No, that would be god level patience. That's the next step up.
Hopefully, whoever would be doing that wouldn't also have bought that $100 thing that was
For
supposed
the
to.
bag that didn't.
Yeah, that
come
was
in.
supposed to save all. No, I don't mean that. The
The
little
canvas
season
bag?
pass- No, the season pass that they did or whatever
Oh.
it
Yeah.
was. it was supposed to have this box that was supposed to store your loot that was infinite, and instead of it being infinite, it was basically eating up all of their stuff. So it was deleting all of their
Well,
all of
that's
their
why it's
loot out of this
infinite. You
box.
store something in there and it deletes it.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
That's making
Instant
new room.
space.
But yes, though, to the canvas bag thing too, they actually did have to send out canvas bags to people who could prove that they got the collector's edition. But yeah, that was something.
Well, my favorite part of that was, which they never talked about, was they like it when they were saying like, "Hey, sorry, we don't have the canvas bags." Like when it first came out that they weren't shipping canvas bags, they had no intention of going back on it and said as much. But then I actually went on their website and I was like, "Wait a minute." I seem to recall something about the Dark Brotherhood backpack, and if you go on, Dark Brotherhood backpack was actually made of canvas. I was like, okay, so it's not part of like some world crisis, like a big canvas shortage or something like that.
Yeah, they
like,
weren't randomly just like,
don't
oh
wanna do
no,
it.
canvas, we're running
Yeah.
out. It's like, no, it was just because they didn't make them.
Yeah,
It was a very interesting time. What I found very interesting about that too is that when people were talking about it, like, hey, like they got their collector's edition, they're like, this is not a canvas bag. This is made out of nylon. What's up with this? And they were adding Bethesda on Twitter and stuff. And so Bethesda thought it was a good idea to just try to delete all of the pictures that had to do with the collector's edition that said canvas bag on them, which backfired, obviously, because
yeah, of course.
people still had other pictures of it that said this canvas bag. And that's honestly probably one of the reasons also why they had to still like go back on it too and fulfill these orders. But I don't know.
During that whole time, Bethesda community manager Pete, I play it all the time. Nothing wrong with it, Hines.
And I was like, oh, I
he like stopped tweeting altogether. Like he just like retweeted stuff. He's just stopped posting his own original tweets because I guess he figured, you know, if you ignore it, it'll stop, kind of thing. And maybe it
That's
did,
not
maybe
what
it didn't.
happens.
I'm not sure what his tweets and replies look like nowadays.
Bethesda trying to cut corners. That's true. Unlike Wendy's, who never cuts corners.
Yes,
True
as
story.
we learned.
Yeah.
I need to go back and highlight that
The square
segment of us talking about
hamburgers.
Wendy's and then upload it to YouTube so everyone else knows.
Yeah, I've got the archive on my laptop as well. So
Yeah.
man, now I want Wendy's. Me too. Me too.
And you know
honestly.
what? We should highlight that part and then send it to Wendy's and be like, listen, you should sponsor us.
Yeah. Tom is calling you out, by the way.
Yeah.
I just
No,
thought you should know.
You can cut corners in that game.
Yeah,
Look, after 900 hours, I'm allowed to do
I
whatever
agree, John.
want.
It was kind of entertaining. They were like, "Don't worry, guys, we're gonna bring NPCs finally." I don't know. Have they brought the NPCs back? Does anybody know?
I don't think they've gotten to that update for
They
it.
haven't
I
gotten
don't think
to
it's
that
out
I
yet.
yet.
feel
Okay.
like keeping up with 76 is like trying to keep up with Anthem. And as we know, that didn't work out that well. So.
Now, forgive me,
Oof,
I could be
yeah.
wrong. Is the new update with the NPCs? I could be wrong here, but is that a paid for DLC? I feel like it is.
If it's a paid for
it
DLC, those people
probably,
are getting
yeah.
ripped off.
Though I don't remember. It was at E. I just remember them showing it at E3, and they looked so satisfied with themselves
Yeah.
that they were adding NPCs to a Fallout game. A real life.
It was my favorite. It was really my favorite thing because they were basically like, guys, we're being so innovative. Every single person in this game is a real person. There are no NPCs. And then a year later, they're like, guys, we're so innovative. We are adding NPCs to
Yeah,
this
exactly.
game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's all
no,
marketing.
No, seriously.
Speaking of
I
Anthem,
feel
has
like
anyone heard anything about the whole new
I
guy
feel like
in
when people
charge?
see Anthem, they just go, okay, not this shit.
Revamp
again.
the
They
whole
don't.
thing from the ground up deal. So Cyrodiil, I actually haven't heard much about that. I know a bit about the life cycle of Anthem's development, including the situation behind the name. That wasn't the planned name, by the way, for the game. They had another name in mind and then ended up not being able to use it. And some higher up was like, "It's called Anthem now." And they're like, "But we already made these shirts." And so they had to like totally rewrite. And I think they even had to redo the story so that the word anthem made any sense at all. Like, because it didn't come up in the game before. Because why would it?
You know, every behind the scenes thing that we've seen of Anthem just makes it look worse and worse.
I will never-
Has anybody here played Anthem?
I played the beta
I
and then he played
really
the
Alpha
full
tested
time.
it and Trev beta tested it.
Okay.
I did a good, respectable alpha test and report, in my opinion. I don't know if they ended up changing any of the stuff.
I have a video on my YouTube that's like my Anthem experience, and it's just me being stuck falling for like 45 seconds.
Really?
Right.
And I was like, this is great.
I remember one of my coworkers saying that they did the beta test for it, and they came into work the next day, and I was like, so how did Anthem go? The beta's going on right now, right? And he's like, okay. So, you know how there's like a waiting room that you're in when you're like waiting to get into a server?
Oh,
right?
yeah. Like when
you know, like
up. Yeah.
you know, like Friday the 13th, right? How there's like that little server that you're in, and then it'll wait, you know, and then you get into the game. He said, so I waited for 20 minutes to get into the waiting room to get into a server.
Oh.
And then it took him another 45 minutes to get into the server.
So
What is this, classic WoW?
the
And then he got
alpha.
into it. And after that, he said that it was extremely glitchy.
No, it was
Flight
super
con-
glitchy.
Wait, so we were saying we're hearing that the flight controls were bad. On the
I didn't
release,
have a
the flight
problem with the
controls were good.
flight controls, but that's just because I'm wild
So-
when it comes to like sensitivity and like flying. And you can ask Rory, I'm a great flyer.
Trev is a god fucking awful pilot. It's unbelievable. Anyway, but I didn't actually have a lot of issues with running it. It ran pretty seamlessly for me. The alpha test period was in 4 sets. It was like a morning, evening over a weekend. The first morning session, I know basically none of the other testers were able to get in. That includes me, by the way. The second one I was able to get in, and I think I was able to play the next day as well. I'm used to a certain type of flying, I guess, because I play a pilot in Battlefield. So I'm used to that, and I've played pilot in like a couple other sort of minor situations in other games. I had the experience that Classy had, where I found the flying really not ideal at all. And Zippy brings a good point up, which is that the beta was actually on an older build. I don't know why.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I don't know if it was older than the alpha build, but I almost honestly suspect it, because the alpha experience was not overwrought with glitches at all. That wasn't actually the main issue, in my opinion, during my test, actually.
Well, and part of the reason why they do global test fires like that is so they can test the capacity of the server. So if there's like a few like little glitches with things, like that's okay. That means, you know, that they can that's where they can go in to fix things. When they did the global test fire for the first Splatoon on the Wii U, it was a bit rocky, but not too bad, because I think it was like you could only play for about 2 hours is how they did it.
Mhm.
So you had to get in quick, honestly. I don't know if they weren't really expecting a lot of people to really want to play it. But every once in a while you'd get kicked from the server, or like something weird would happen. But like otherwise, game worked pretty good. But you know, because like I said, like there's glitches and stuff, and the whole point of that is so they can test the capacity of the servers. But if you can't even get into the game to test the game mechanics, like that's not good.
Yeah, then there's a problem. This kind of reminds
time.
me of when Pokemon Go first came out, because like their servers were terrible at launch.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Kept crashing, everything. Yeah, I really need to go invisible on all these things, because it's just constantly like popping up and showing that pack is on.
But I feel like Pokemon Go is a really good example of a game like pushing through initial like issues, and it's like changed so much, and it's so much better
Yeah.
even today than it was when it first launched.
No Man's Sky. No Man's
Man's
Sky.
Sky.
That's
They
another
completely
big,
rehauled.
heavily patched. Cyrodiil, I really like that point. I don't know if I remember that from the little thing I read, because you can read quite extensively about the development cycle of Anthem, but I have no trouble believing that, because the development cycle was so troubled, and it wasn't just on the publishing side. Like EA definitely had its hands in it in screwing things up. But as I recall, the two studios who were combining to make this game are also having sort of inter-studio difficulties as well. So it doesn't surprise me at all that they had tried a total gameplay rewrite and then was like, you know what, that was a terrible idea. Let's go back to the other thing. Yeah, Pokemon Go really did push through, though. That's a good example.
Yeah,
of a
and
game
I think that is.
endured
I think Melly's
surprisingly.
right, because that is a really good example. Because yeah, like Pokemon Go is pretty rocky. I can remember at one point, like I was like going on a walk with a friend so we could play Pokemon Go, and that was around when it first came out.
Yeah, it was just like you would constantly have to close it out, reopen it, test it again, and then
Yeah, it was pretty rocky at times. But honestly, and I don't play Pokemon Go as much as I used to now. But every once in a while, like I'll start it up and it'll do just fine.
Yeah, now it's wonderful. Now it's just like it works immediately instead of like having to close out, reopen, close out, reopen.
And I haven't played No Man's Sky, but my friend Ian, who you guys all know because we've had him on this podcast, he actually, yes, which I'm pretty sure he was the one that played No Man's Sky before and after the update. And he said that it got like 10 times better. He was super happy about it.
I also own it, actually. I have not played it yet, but I own it. I'm excited to give it a go because I bought it.
Were they? Because I know they said that you were supposed to like be able to find people, and then like afterward they're like, well, it's a big galaxy or whatever, and that was just them saying, oh no, there's no multiplayer. But like after they updated, did they fix that so you could actually play with people and interact with other people, or?
I actually don't know if they added in
like
like
a
actual
solo
multiplayer.
That is not one of the main things I've heard that they've improved, but they might have done that. Yeah, definitely. Also, huge shout out to Ian, by the way, who also streams. Really nice guy. Good streamer. Knows a lot about the games he plays. He's also a friend of Morgan's and a friend of mine, so we recommend him.
Also, that's great, Zippy. I like that.
Yeah, it really.
Like what?
Well, yeah. I mean, they pretty much flat out lied about what was going to be in the game, and there's kind of no way around that. Like,
which was sad because I know part of it was because the guy knew that he wasn't ready to put his game out when his publishers were like, "We need to put this game out like now. We're gonna." It got
announced so early before it was done. It's crazy. It's like a small independent studio.
This goes back to what we talked about last time. Was I almost called him the name that's actually not his name, but Kilroy.
Kilroy, you almost called him Adam again.
Yeah, I was like, that's not it. But
No Man's
we were
Sky
talking
classy.
about with Kilroy that like devs and all these people are like constantly getting pressured and pushed to like put something out. When in reality, like we can segue this into what we want to talk about anyway. That Cyberpunk got pushed back, Final Fantasy got pushed back, Avengers got pushed back.
Last of Us got pushed back.
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, I was just naming games I cared about, but
at least Final Fantasy got pushed back barely like an hour. Oh my god. A month.
An hour.
Also, Zippy,
you're thinking of the Doomsday Clock.
Zippy, that is also a really good point because that was also one of the other things because I think one of the things he said that it was like I know this is like kind of crazy that anybody would actually believe that this was possible. But, like he was like, there are billions of planets that you can go to, and he like they were supposed to have been serious that you could go to billions of different planets in the game, and there was definitely not even close.
It's funny if you go back and watch the interviews with it's Sean Murray from Hello Games, I think, and you can actually see that answering questions he looks physically nervous. The guys are like, will you be able to find other players? He's like, oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a definite possibility. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
It's
I feel like from that interview alone, people shouldn't be able to tell something was up. If you're going like,
it looked kind of. But what I think about, I referenced this the other day. I was talking to Zippy, I think, and I was telling him about. We were talking about Fallout New Vegas, and that was pushed out before it was ready. And the publisher, which is Bethesda in this case, Fallout New Vegas is not developed by Bethesda, developed by Obsidian. And so there was a bonus for Obsidian tied to the Metacritic score the game received. So Bethesda or whoever, ZeniMax or whoever, would give them a bonus if they received a certain Metacritic score, and they didn't get the bonus because it was one below. It was like supposed to be 89 and they got 88 or some bullshit like that, and like that is a really bad reward structure, especially since they made them release the game early while it was still like that had a bit of a buggy release because it wasn't ready. and that's probably why they missed out on their bonus, like, which sucks.
People shouldn't give games too much shit for having buggy like aspects of the game, because that's what like patches are for. Like I can understand like a but not like the ones like COD or something, or like Red Dead, where like day one it's like, oh, 80 gig patch, here you go. It's like,
yeah, no, like I find that a little bit ridiculous when there's like some like bugs and stuff that they find. It's like, oh no, like for some reason in this particular, because I remember in one particular spot in Red Dead.
Yeah, you're right, Zippy. That's not a patch. That's a game.
Yeah. I remember one particular spot in Red Dead. It didn't happen to me, but I know a lot of people were saying like, "Hey, be careful when you get near." I think it was like roads or something, like near here on this like one area, because your horse will kind of weird out a little bit and then catch on fire, and everything else will catch on fire around you.
What?
And it was happening to a lot of people. So like that's something
that
that's,
happened
like,
to you?
okay. Did that happen to you, Molly? I don't remember if you
Given
said
your
so.
history with fire.
Must have.
Yeah, I must have.
Because I know it happened to like one person that I knew, but I couldn't remember. But yeah, so like that's like the kind of glitch. It's like, okay, like that's something that they didn't foresee, and now we can just send in a patch wirelessly, and it's all good. We fix it.
Yeah.
But when it's like, when there are so many bad glitches or gameplay mechanic issues and stuff like that, that they have to put in a patch that is like 50 gigabytes, like that's kind of ridiculous, because that's something like, say like if Red Dead was a game that was made in like the 90s. Well, I mean, I know that there was like Red Dead Revolver that came out on the
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that game.
PS1?
PS2.
PS2.
PS2 game. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Red Dead was like a brand new series. I didn't know they had one on the PS2.
No, there was Red Dead Revolver. Yeah,
Red Dead
I remember
Revolver.
that.
You can actually get that on the PS4. It's under the PS2 classic things that they have. Yeah, there's not a lot of them, but they have some pretty good games. Wild Arms 3 is one of them. Anyways, but say like if this game was like came out in like 1998, and they had like that small like glitch that I just told you about, like, oh no, my horse is gonna catch on fire if you go to this area and roads. Like that's that would be kind of a small glitch. It's like, okay, we're just gonna maneuver around this way instead. Then that's just something kind of funny that they probably would put on like YouTube videos like 20 years in the future, like, hey, remember this weird glitch in Red Dead?
Yeah.
But having something that's game breaking from like a 1998 game, they can't just fix that. They'd have to be like, everybody be like, hey, remember how bad this release was for Red Dead and how bad that game was?
They would have to reprint all the disc and then have people buy it again, and just like,
And that's
Well, it would be a huge crisis, right?
and that would be like the end of that, like.
well, I mean, that's
it would
what
be the
cheat
end.
codes were back then. Essentially, it was just like, oh, you can go to this place, abuse this mechanic because it wasn't.
Yeah,
working
Zippy, you're right.
properly, and then,
Like that meant you didn't sell your game. Like if there was that bad of a glitch or many glitches, like somebody would look at that and go, "This game's not ready." And it does kind of bother me now that there are so many gaming companies that'll be like, see all these terrible glitches and be like, "Ah, it's fine. We'll just patch it."
Well, and Zippy's right, by the way, for why that's. So if you've ever wondered why you buy a game and it has a massive day one patch, so if you've ever worked in like a really large code base and that's buggy, you'll find you discover new bugs all the time, right? So when the game goes gold and they start putting it on discs and start shipping it out, in the time it's taking to do that, they're still discovering bugs because they're that like tight on release, right? It's not like they fix all the bugs and then put it on the disc. Like publishers are rushing developers out to have their stuff so much that they're still discovering bugs while the game is being shipped, and a lot of them. So there's like, so you get it, and there's like 60 gig patch. It's like, this wouldn't probably have been as much of an issue had the game been released in some other medium.
I feel like everything being online and connected to the internet is like a catch-22, because like you can get the game and you can play it, but like there's also that aspect of like, yeah, you can play it, but it might not work correctly, and then you're gonna have to wait for the patch.
Yeah, and see, like Shigeru Miyamoto said, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I was really sad when Animal Crossing got delayed because they kept saying like a whole bunch of times, Animal Crossing is for the Switch is coming out in 2019. Like they did say that multiple times. So then at E3, when they said Animal Crossing New Horizons on the Switch coming out March 20th, 2020, I was like, oh, that's really sad. And I was disappointed. But then when you hear, though, like the big reason for that was because Nintendo didn't want their developers to go into crunch time. They didn't want that, and they don't like doing that. So that's why they delayed it. And I was like, that's okay with me. As long as
you shouldn't like doing that as a developer.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
like
going into crunch.
As long as the game is the best that it can be, for them, and as long as the game developers are not like basically killing themselves over this game, like I want them to be okay. Like I love this game. Exactly. I want the people who made this game that I love to also be okay.
There was controversy about that when Red Dead came out, because it came out that one of the I can't remember who it was at the company was boasting about like close to 100-hour work weeks for some of the
Yeah, I
employees.
remember.
And everybody was like, "Wait a minute, that's bad.
I couldn't
That's
remember.
Bad. Stop that!" Like, no,
it was
like,
it was Rockstar. Right?
I couldn't remember what
Yeah, it was Rockstar.
studio it was. I know that they were saying like they were pushing them over like the amount they should have been working. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, that's what I heard as well. Now they tried to like backpedal a little bit, and they were like, "Well, we didn't require them to work that. It's just a lot of the writers wanted to work that extra time," and I think they even said something like kind of like shitty, like, "Oh well, you know, like we never force anyone to work hard." It's like close to a 100-hour work week is not hard work. MK, how are you? Yeah, the hair, a lot of it is gone. It's I did a rather drastic haircut, but Morgan likes it, so that's
Yeah, honestly, I think
you're sweet.
I think you should keep it like that. I'll be honest.
Oh, thank you. I actually intend to.
Oh, okay.
It does look good.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And Zippy, I have also seen the Isabel Doomguy memes. I've also seen memes that's supposed to be like Isabel after she goes to the island after coming back from Smash Bros, and it's just like a ripped Isabel. It's my
That's a good.
thing.
That's actually a good point. I wish I knew how to say your name.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna call you.
Is it?
I'm gonna call you.
Caesar?
I would say Skyzer, but
I'm gonna say
I heard
Skyzer
Vic
because I kind of like that.
I want to say Caesar
I
because
said
of the
Skyzer,
Pokemon,
but then Vic started calling him Scissor, and I was like, that makes more sense.
Oh, okay.
See,
okay.
the thing with me though is that I also would go with the Pokemon one.
Yeah, okay.
The,
So we're on the same page, but yeah.
Okay, so Skyzer, I'm going with that. I like it the best. I know it's probably not your name,
It's
but
probably
Be prepared to be called three
you have
different
a
things
real
on this cast.
point actually that I think that is worth noting. Like, yeah, it's bad when it's forced, but when you're doing it of your own will, there's definitely like your passion does take over. Like, there are projects that I've worked on that I've felt so passionate about. I just would literally wake up, get on my computer, work on it all day, and then go to sleep.
Oh yeah, I know that too. Like Rory knows that. Like just the other night, I was working on like an art piece on my iPad, and I was like, oh, I have to go to bed by midnight, and I just kept going.
Is this on the app that's called Procreate?
Oh, why'd you have to say that? Why'd you have to
there's
tell
a drawing.
everybody?
For those that don't know, there's a drawing app called Procreate, and it's got a really unfortunate name. But my friend, who's a TA, she was marking student projects, and one of the it's the student software pieces, and one of the groups of students, there was like 5 of them or whatever, they called their app that they were developing Quickie, and they saw nothing wrong with that. That never once occurred to them that there was anything wrong with that at all. Oh, hey Tater, how's it going?
But yeah, like and it's a terrible name, but it is a really, really good drawing app. I got it for like $10. And it's got a whole bunch of different brushes and stuff. But I was just playing around on it, but I was also doing okay.
So just keep everyone entertained. It's fine.
Are you going to eat? Okay, yeah, do your thing. All right, guys, you just got us now.
Did he just put the arrow over his camera? Is that what he did? Oh my god.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah, Trev
Okay,
was,
so like
everyone's bullshit. No, we cannot, Ash. No, we
no spoilers. Virgin.
Yeah, Ash Morgan got it for me, and I just started it. So we can say nothing about it. I'm sorry.
Spoiler free only. Oh my god. I didn't realize Arrow was on our podcast. That's incredible.
who is the rest of us, I wonder? Like if we leave,
he's Canadian, right? Did I make that up? Is he not Canadian? Hold on, let me check. If he's not Canadian,
we have to just look at Oliver Queen for 20 minutes. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, he's Canadian. He's from Toronto. My guy. All right.
But yeah, I totally get what Rory means though, because like just the other night, and I've done this before, like when I made my emote, I actually was up almost all night doing them because I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. I like this momentum that I got, so I'm just gonna keep going and keep drawing until I just have them done. And that's what I did.
Absolutely, yeah.
Was not good of me, but it was my idea, and I did it of my own volition. So I do understand that actually.
Definitely, me and Melly both like play music. Melly, I'm sure you've stayed up all night playing. I know I have. They like if you're like writing something in particular that can't like get out of your head or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Doom guy enters Smash, and in Doom Eternal we meet the new Doom Slayer incarnation, Grizzled. If we could have if Doom guy, like the Doom Slayer, was like just a cutesy looking Shih Tzu, I'd totally play Doom.
Oh
Absolutely.
Tater! Oh my God, Tater! That actually physically hurt to look at that meme you sent me. That actually.
I hated that too. It gave me nightmares.
Yeah,
Okay.
I almost threw up in my living room. Like
I was gonna say, do I need to look at this? Maybe I don't. Never mind.
So one of the things I'm the same with programming and gaming. Yeah, and I've had code that I was working on that I just I mean, when I met Morgan, I was working on my thesis, and Morgan, I'm sure you remember many nights where we'd be on the phone till 2 a.m, and then I'd be like, I gotta go work on my thesis now.
Yep.
And then I'd go work, right? Like, so I definitely. So one of the things I wanted to tell you guys is that because we were talking about Melly, you were talking about the Outer Wilds and how it was it's Epic Store for now until it comes to Steam. Usually they seem to be like year-long exclusive deals. So I saw something on YouTube today. I think it was in my recommended like review of Journey to the Savage Planet, a game I didn't know about.
Yes.
And I looked it up and I was like, this looks fucking great. And if you know me, I am stubborn when it comes to games. And there are very few new games that I just get really pumped for. They happen, maybe 4 or 5 a year, but I'm not like every new release I gotta play it, every new yearly, whatever it is.
Yeah, like no matter how many stealth games I recommend to you, Rory, I think you've yet to play any.
I have yet to convert any to like the hybrid stealth games that are like kind of stealth, kind of action.
Yeah.
But I'm starting Odyssey soon, so that's exciting. Which was one of the first games I ever saw you stream. The first game I ever saw you stream.
I love watching you play Odyssey.
That was amazing. Yeah, those streams.
It's just because I got caught on fire all the time.
Well, it was a really good game. Like that taught me that was like a really good stream game. It has a good pace for streaming.
Yeah.
I feel like AC games in general are kind of under-streamed.
You were just so entertaining, though. Also, Melly, like honest to God, I think the games are fun and all, but the games are probably more like me. This is probably like a bigger number than I'm saying, but like a game is probably like 25% of the stream. Like the streamer makes most of the stream, And you were just so much fun to watch. You were entertaining and you were welcoming and you were nice and.
Thank you, Morgan.
Let me give a quick shout out to one of my favorite streamers and one of my good friends, Melly.
No, wait, that's one of my favorite streamers too. Do you know her?
That's also.
That's insane!
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, you're Toctopus! No way!
Yeah, we should date.
Oh my God, are you asking me out? You know what?
I am.
I think that we should go meet up somewhere, maybe up in Canada and go somewhere for Valentine's Day.
I love that idea.
Trevor, help!
He can't hear you, Melly.
But I saw this review for Journey to the Savage Planet, and it looked really good, right? And I was like, I'm gonna buy it. I was like, I didn't even care. I was like, I'm buying this. This looks amazing. And I get on, and it's an Epic Store exclusive in my heart.
Oh,
it was so sad.
I can't hear you.
We're not in space, Tom. Okay.
Not even the Green Arrow can save you from this. I know we have failed the city, but does the city care?
If you've never seen Arrow, by the way, it's ending soon. They're gonna have the series finale soon.
Yeah, I heard.
It's I've not caught up on the last few seasons. I think me and Morgan were actually thinking about catching up sometime soon. But I've seen the first few. It had its ups and downs, but like the first 2 definitely are really good, and I would recommend.
Yeah. Do the viewers care is the question.
So PS Plus has their free games announced for February.
Yes.
Morgan, you are a fan of one of the franchises that's there. Tell us about
The Sims?
Yes.
I've been playing The Sims since I was in kindergarten. I haven't had much time to play The Sims 4 lately. Honestly, once I'm able to get a new computer and get some more hard drive space, that would actually be super nice to have again. Because I actually deleted it because I have no room on my computer at the moment. But I've been playing The Sims since I was a little kid, since the very first ones. I still have most of them, actually. I have a lot of the boxes still, even like from the very first ones with the jewel cases. Sims 4 is actually pretty good. There's definitely like glitches and stuff though, and I feel like it really kind of has now gotten the EA feel to it. The expansion packs are expensive, but lately they've been doing like a 50% off thing with them now, which is what they should have been in the first place, because expansion packs used to be like $20. For a super long time, I think like the base game for the longest time on PC was $40, and the expansion packs were $40, and wasn't worth it for, in my opinion, for that. But well, honestly, what the part that I actually really like about The Sims 4 though is the character creator, because besides the fact that they don't have a height thing still, which makes me upset, but you actually can you really can recreate basically anybody in The Sims 4, like to an extent. The character creator is really, really good. I like it a lot. But it is the one for the console is at least going to be free on PS Plus. And it's fine, it's fun. But I mean, Tater, it's free on PS Plus, so if you wanted to try it out, just to try it, but it's there. I always said what I really liked was The Sims 2. That one was my personal favorite. I don't know, there's just something really nice and fun about the whole thing. What I'd really love them to do is, if they ever go on to like The Sims 5, I like the nostalgia feeling of The Sims 1. I really liked the fun aspect of how they had everything in The Sims 2. They had an open world in The Sims 3, and I'd like the character creator of The Sims 4. That's honestly what I would really look forward to. But the character creator is a lot of fun. You can sink a lot of hours into it, which is what I tend to do a lot, is I'll make like a whole family, and then when I am done and I get them like on my little property for them, and I build the house and I put it like furniture and I personalize things, I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I can play now, and I'm like, I'm done. Now the other and Sims original for me, absolutely, I loved the original Sims. I actually would love to just go back and play it if I could. I love it.
See, I was more of a Sim City girl.
My mom loved Sim City.
I sunk so many hours into Sim City 2000. I think was the one I played the most. I never played any. I played 5 minutes of Sims 4 because it was like free on Origin like a year ago. So I played it for like 5 minutes, and I didn't really sink that much time into it. But man, I could get down with some Sim City 2000.
Yes, I was just talking to Roy about this the other day. Like, there are some things that I wish that they would just like try to get like the rights to and stuff, and resell like some of these old games digitally. Like I was talking about, if anybody remembers, probably not, because nobody seems to remember this game, but Sim Theme Park on the PC, long time ago. I loved that game. Like, it was so much fun. And now like lately, I've been having this bad urge to play Diner Dash. Like the original Diner Dash. And I can't find it anywhere. I don't have, also because I think I have maybe some of the discs for it, but I don't have a disc drive in this PC, so I can't play it. And it makes me very sad. But I would love it if like they could like get like the rights or something to some of these games so we could play them digitally, or figure out how, to make it possible to play them on, on the newer computers. But
so that is a big part of like what GOG does. It's just a shame that it's not more widespread. Like part of it I think is probably because of the size of the team at CD Projekt that's behind like GOG. It's interesting. You can watch some of the stuff like of how they've gotten some of the games before, and like finding the rights for these things is apparently really tangly. Like they got to track down people and call a bunch of people, and then sort out how to get it to work on modern OS.
That was actually...
I don't have one either.
I probably, like... Because I know you can get a CD drive that's like a USB one. I I've thought about maybe doing it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a CD drive either.
Oh, you can definitely, yeah, you can get one. Well, I mean, we're gonna build you a new PC soon. So, if you want a disk drive in that, we can put a disk drive in that.
Probably, yeah. Actually, that'd be kind of nice.
Sure, yeah.
Because then I can play a lot of my old dumb games. But that was actually one of the things too that when you said like about the copyrights and stuff, because there were a lot of people like that would come into like the game store that I worked at and be like, okay, well, you said that Xbox One is backwards compatible. How come, like, and then they would bring up this game, they're like, for the 360 and be like, okay, I want to play this on my Xbox One. I'm like, you can't play that on your Xbox One. They'd be like, well, why not? And I'm like, because even though, like, the Xbox One is backwards compatible, they still have to get the rights to be able to play it, like, those 360 games on the Xbox One still. And there are some companies that maybe don't want to do that because maybe they just don't want to go through doing that or like the hassle of doing that, or maybe they are developing that game like to be a remaster or something for the Xbox One or something like that. But it was always really funny whenever people come in and be like, I want to get this. Like, nope. Sorry.
Yeah, the Xbox One is like, it has a feature called backwards compatibility, but it's not necessarily backwards compatible. It's weird.
But now I do have something else to go off of also, because we were just talking about the Sims. There's also another game series that is free on PlayStation Plus this month. Rory, what is it again?
It's the BioShock collection. So if you've never played BioShock, it's arguably one of the most consistent franchises ever made. It's the third one is a pretty vast departure from the other two, but it's still a really good game. You could debate about whether it's a proper BioShock game if you want to. I can't speak. No, the thing is, if you were to go on Steam or GOG right now, or like Humble or whatever distributor of keys, and you were to get the BioShock collection on PC, you get BioShock 1 and 2, the original copies, and the HD remakes, or the with the improved resolutions and such, and then BioShock Infinite, right? But I think on console, if you're to get it like on a PS4 or whatever, you just get the remakes of 1 and 2, and then Infinite. So I don't know how buggy the remakes are. Again, on PC isn't not a problem because the originals come with the remakes, and the originals run perfectly. If the remakes are buggy, then the BioShock collection might not give you an impression of what the series is actually like. They aren't terrible, if I recall correctly. Okay, well, that's good. In that case, definitely. Well, I mean, get it no matter what, because free is always a good deal. But if you've never played BioShock, I really, really recommend setting aside the time to do so. It's not a massive time sink. One of the things that I will say is just like a little recommendation. You'd be best off not rushing through them. They're short games. Please take the time to explore the areas you're in and pick up all the tapes and stuff like that. It really affects your context for what's happening in the game. So bear that in mind. I'd say about 8 hours for each of them. Yeah, roundabout. I mean, I think depends on how much you rush them. If you really took your time with them, I think you could get between 12 and 14 out of Infinite. But yeah, it's a high recommend from me. They're really good art, even though the third one is a completely different art style. It's still a great art style. And if you're a big fan of like bright color palettes and stuff, the BioShock Infinite came out after the cycle of when every first-person shooter was gray, and it was and it had a lot of color and a lot of pop and a lot of vibrancy. And so I really recommend that. And also the other ones too. The other ones were actually, even though they were dark, like they had a really good sense of light and stuff like that. They're all beautiful to look at. Please buy them. Please.
I probably need to go back and play the first two. I only ever played BioShock Infinite, and I played that was my first BioShock game.
Sure.
I loved it. I already have the collection on disc. And I started the first BioShock game, and I really liked it, and then I just stepped away from it and never finished it. So that might be one of the ones I have to finish this year.
Yeah, Zippy, you're right. Yeah, Bioshock 1 and 2 were right in the middle of that phase, and they still weren't like dark and gray. I first experienced Bioshock with the demo for Bioshock 1 back on the PS3, and I was literally blown away by how good it looked. And it wasn't because the graphics were like turbo realistic, because they weren't. They were just, the art was just really good. It has that timeless art. So no matter what, you can sink a good few hours into the PS Plus games this month. Also, it reminds me that I need to download Uncharted still, the Nathan Drake collection, which is the PS.
Oh,
It's only
yeah.
going to be up for a couple more days, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
do that
exactly,
for
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So
before
I'm
it's
gonna do
up.
it tomorrow when I turn on my PS4.
Wait, Roy, which
Um,
of the Uncharted games have you played, or you haven't played any of them?
3.
You played Uncharted 3?
I never beat it, but yes, I did
Okay.
play it. I played a bunch of the story, and I played some of the multiplayer.
Okay.
Please play
But
the
I've
other
never really. I will play the other ones. They're one of Morgan's favorite series. In fact, that was the first thing Morgan ever streamed, actually.
Uncharted 4. Yep.
And it was wonderful.
I was actually thinking about because the other day I was like really trying to because I wanted to stream, but I was like, I don't know what I want to stream right now, and I was just literally I was staring at my my stack of games over here, and I was like, what should I play? What should I play? What should I
Wait,
play?
Speaking of Uncharted.
Mhm.
Oh, is he going to... You mean about the movie getting delayed again?
Oh yeah, I actually talked about that in Ash's chat earlier.
Tom, that's a good point.
Because the it got delayed again.
The director pulled out?
I think that's what it was again. They've
Oh
lost
my
like
goodness.
4 directors or something like that.
That's not a good sign.
And Ash was talking about Nathan Fillion. I'm like, oh, speaking of Nathan Fillion, the Uncharted movie got delayed again, so maybe this means that we can finally get Nathan Fillion to be actual Nathan.
Honestly,
Drake.
I feel like Nathan Fillion is aging backwards. Like, have you seen him on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's like getting
Tater-
younger.
Tater, I don't really know what to do with that.
I think the word we're looking for is anyways. But yeah, oh,
That's what I do with that.
Oh, but yeah, I was like just staring at my stack of games over here, like what should I play? And I was honestly thinking about maybe playing Uncharted 1. Like I've thought about maybe streaming like the first 3 Uncharted games. Oh yeah, Kenobi.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know like how long exactly it was supposed to be, but because it wasn't like really that it got delayed because there's like huge issues. But I heard it's still on track. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, it reminds me in my back of my head. I'm always thinking Halo TV show. You guys remember that? That was announced at the Xbox One announcement. The Halo TV series. When the Xbox One was announced, and that guy came on to sports, you know that guy, the EA dude or whatever, who keeps talking about sports.
Oh, Zippy.
And now like what's happening to the Halo TV show? Does anyone know? Like it definitely has. I think actually that may have been a bad example because that one I think is actually back on production track right now. But
wasn't there also like a Halo miniseries or something?
There was a film, I know that much.
Because I remember my mom and my brother watching it. Because my brother was real excited about it because he loves Halo, and my mom liked it. She's like, "Oh wow, this is really cool." So I'm gonna look it up really quick because I do remember seeing like something about Halo.
There was a
wait,
Halo
hold on,
movie. Yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was back to the Uncharted thing. I didn't realize that movie it's been in production or development since 2008. That's a long
the Halo
time.
film.
No, Uncharted.
I didn't know about that for the Uncharted one.
that I
I
didn't
heard
know
maybe
either.
like 2013 or something. I remember them talking about it at the time. But oh my
Yeah.
god, 2008.
Oh no, Tater, I was referring to the unreleased Halo movie that Alex Garland wrote. Alex Garland, who, if you don't know,
Alex Garland worked on
yeah,
it?
he wrote a Halo script.
What?
So if you guys don't know Alex Garland, he's a director and writer. He wrote 28 Days Later. He wrote Sunshine. He wrote Dread. He wrote and directed Ex Machina, and more recently he
I
wrote and
love
directed
Ex Machina.
Annihilation. He's my
Yeah.
favorite screenwriter, bar none. He also wrote the game Enslaved Odyssey to the West. If any of you guys played that back in the like the PS3 generation. But he wrote a script for a Halo movie. Not sure what happened to that. Oh yeah, the other ones that were released. Yeah, I heard terrible things, Tater. I heard exactly what you said. Yeah, that's kind of a shame that they. So Zippy, my Peter Jackson situation is I sort of have a bit of the relationship with Peter Jackson movies that I have with who is the guy? District 9, Chappie, Elysium, Neil Blomkamp.
Oh, Neil Blomkamp.
I like he started out really good for me. Like Peter Jackson started out very good for me with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? That he did. And then I watched the Hobbit trilogy, and after watching Peter Jackson have 3 movies and hearing that Guillermo del Toro had it originally as 2 movies, which would have made only infinitely more sense. I was like, I started to like, I'm not saying I doubt Peter Jackson, but I'm a little more cautious than I was before. Likewise, when District 9 came out, I was like Neil Blomkamp all the way, and then Elysium, and I was like less so, and then Chappie, and I was like less so for different reasons. He's been releasing a lot of short films lately, but what makes a good short film and what makes a good long form film, I think, are really different, and I don't think that's appreciated. Like a short film can get by on having a really cool gimmick, and a long movie can't.
And I really agree about like that, which I know like Bray and I were gonna watch The Hobbit sometime anyways, but
yeah, that's right.
it was funny because we were talking about watching The Hobbit, and then I was like, you know what else we could do? We could just rewatch The Lord of the Rings. That is totally doable also.
Skyzer likes bad taste, era Peter Jackson. Interesting.
But I do remember because like I think I've seen The Hobbit a few different times. I've seen The Desolation of Smaug, I think 2 or 3 times. And oh my gosh, what was it? Battle of Five Armies. I have seen that one time, and
it's genuinely atrocious. Yeah,
I can remember watching it, and there's not a lot of movies that I actually go to the movies to see, and I'm like, sitting there like, I didn't like this, by the end. Most of the time, I tend to enjoy the movies that I go see, and I can just remember sitting, thinking, and I was like, I don't like this.
It's kind of a slog to watch.
It is.
Hey, Trev's back.
And there he is. Does that mean that the arrow was going to be leaving us? I've grown to like him.
Trev's gone. Trev opened the door and then he left. Hold on. He'll be back, folks. Don't worry about it.
But honest to God, though, yeah, like what Melly said. Because like, I think the thing with me is that I did really like the first one, because like it was a new, from the Lord of the Rings series. I mean, it was from the Hobbit, but it was from that world, and it was really cool to watch. Like I watched it a lot with my cousins also, and they were all like, "Oh, adventure!" Like so it was fun watching it with them also. So I think that's part of it maybe for me. But then then we get to the second one, and it was like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. I guess I enjoyed it. And then third one was just downright no. I don't think I could ever watch this again. It was really slow. I definitely felt like they could have put like at least 2 and 3 together in one movie if they could. Like they could have done something, but
definitely
2 was actually really
weird.
Long too. Yeah,
3 was weird because I don't know. It was strange. It was a strange departure. They included a lot of extraneous universe things, which work great in Lord of the Rings, but don't work so well when you're trying to tell a really concise story. I will say we loved watching Lord of the Rings late last year. That was a great rewatch. That's always a great rewatch.
Oh yeah.
And we'll probably end up doing that again sometime.
I always make sure I watch the extended trilogy, Lord of the Rings, like at least once a year. That's like a tradition.
Oh, I love the extended trilogy. There's some things, like especially that happens after the Return of the King that I love. Like right at the end, there's a few parts with I can't remember the guy's name, but it was with Eowyn, and who was the
Aemir?
Was it
who are you talking about? Carl Urban?
Faramir?
Oh, Faramir. Oh, okay, yeah.
Boromir's brother.
Yeah,
Faramir.
Yeah.
And there was like this little tiny part. Like my mom actually really likes it too because she loves the Lord of the Rings, and she always makes sure to watch the extended cut also. And And she always just really loved that one part because it kind of showed like a little budding romance between them. Like two people that like one of them, you know, fought this big battle and she lost, you know, who was like her father figure, and then the man that she was in love with, you know, rejected her. And then there was this other man who was like basically rejected by his father, almost killed by his father, and unloved by his father. And you know, like they just kind of came together, and my mom really liked, you know, and I really liked that also.
Trev, I just want to get Trev caught up on what happened in since
listening.
So we talked about the PS Plus games for next month. We talked about the fact that the Outer Wilds and Journey to the Savage Planet are both Epic Store exclusives. Somehow, Tater got
Bye, Tater.
No, I caught up on chat and I had to shoot him for some stuff.
Zippy, I was gonna watch it today, and I didn't get a chance to watch it today, but I'll have it watched. I'll have both the episodes watched by the time next week comes around. Don't worry about it. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. The card is the new Star Trek series. And and not only is it a new Star Trek, but it's in the Prime timeline, not in the Kelvinverse.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody who is responsible for that decision. Can I bring up something non-spoiler that I think is friggin' awesome? Tread extremely carefully, Zippy, or I will shoot you.
Well, I feel like he would know what a spoiler and one is.
I agree. No, Zippy's got my back.
Oh boy.
He's got PTS flashbacks from like when I shoot him all the time for no reason.
You know why they went with a pit bull for the dog? Is this going to be a Star Trek trivia thing that I get wrong? I don't know.
Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305.
Yeah. Pitbull plays the dog. It's a really odd casting choice. Yeah.
That's why. That's right. Right?
God,
The question is the answer.
Tell us, Zippy. Did I ever tell you guys? I think I was in the 7th grade when I first found out who Pitbull was, which was too early to find out. He was on because they are banned in England, and Patrick Stewart thinks that's unfair. Oh, is that true?
Oh,
that's so cool.
I do know that actually.
That's really cool. I love that. That they went with that. I don't love that they're banned in England. I love that he went with that. I think that's cool.
So if Pitbull would play this dog, would it just be like Pitbull voicing, like would it be like a talking dog and Pitbull is the voice?
Yeah, it'd be like the one from the Inhumans, yeah.
Or would it just be Pitbull going bark, 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 just in Pitbull's voice?
I like both options.
Is it gonna be like Lassie, where it's just like bark, bark, bark? What? Timmy's down the well? It's like,
I want it like Dark Crystal, like a Dark Crystal like puppet, and then it's Pitbull voice. That's my one.
That you ate a whole. You pooped in the refrigerator and you ate a whole wheel of cheese? Oh my god, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
I was when I was in junior high, I used to watch these late night like talk shows. Like if you guys were watching like late night shows back then, like Craig Ferguson, Conan O'Brien, Jay Leno, David Letterman. It was in that era. I remember seeing Pitbull perform one of his songs on one of I think it was Jay Leno's show. And I thought, well, this is fucking terrible. But at the very least, I've never heard of this guy. This is the peak of his career. No one else is ever going to hear about him ever again. Right? This is over. This is where it happens, and Pitbull's over from here. And had I known what was going to happen, I would have tried to warn people or something. But I didn't. And
I wanna say that he's done some songs for the Fast and Furious series.
Oh, that's not good.
We're trying to get people to watch Fast and
I'll
Furious.
be honest. I don't have a problem with music. I'll listen to it. It's not bad. There are other people I won't listen to, but he's not one of them.
Right? Yeah.
Which reminds me, we need to watch the next Fast and Furious.
I was just about to say it. We finished.
There's a trailer coming out for the new one. Friday,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's soon. So I thought it was Is it Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah, we got. So for those of you who don't know, we've all been me and Trev have seen the Fast and the Furious movies. And
I can quote them nonstop, but
yeah, me and Trev often quote the first Fast and the Furious movie in Twitch chat. So if you see Trev ever break out into a conversation that's like, "Hey, I like the tuna here," bullshit, asshole. No one likes the tuna here. That's what we're talking about. And Melly and Morgan have been watching them, and I think enjoying them. Right?
Yeah.
I would say you guys enjoy them. Yeah. We hungry.
They're a lot better than I was like led to believe.
Are they better than what you were led to believe, or are they just more like entertaining and comedic than you were led to believe?
They're more entertaining comedic than I was led to believe.
Yeah, once Tyrese gets
they're
in,
they're
it's
exactly
like,
the
man.
quality. They're exactly the quality of filmmaking I thought they would be, but they're more entertaining than I.
Okay, yeah.
All I remember is just talking to my manager about it, and he's just like, "Those movies are terrible."
Your manager's not a trustworthy person.
False.
The first
Aw.
one's perfect. I don't know how that didn't win
The
an
first one is
Oscar,
literally
but
a
you know,
flawless
like I
movie,
don't.
Yeah. There's literally nothing they could have done to improve the first one.
Oh my
The
god.
See, everybody likes Tokyo Drift, and I don't like Tokyo Drift.
I love Tokyo Drift.
The
think
it's because the song tricks people into loving it.
I think
Actually,
that's
no,
the
I
reason.
really- No, but I enjoyed it because everybody was. I had been told Tokyo Drift was like the worst one, and I actually enjoyed it. So
And that's what I was told too, because like when I was talking, cause my manager has seen all of them, and he was like, "Okay, so which one are you on now?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're watching Tokyo Drift next. My friends say that one's the best one." He goes, "That's the worst one."
Oh, I love it.
Good
I
to
love
know.
it. The
I
Well,
enjoyed
Tater,
quite a bit.
after that, they become a different kind of movie. Like you guys now, you've seen 5. Like they really have a different vibe.
Yeah,
than
it's
the
no
ones
longer about
preceding.
street races and owning people cars. Now it's about we gotta save the world and rob these.
Oh my
people
god,
and,
like that was great. I was like, where are the street races? Like, are they're straight racing for cancer or something in this? Like, that's probably the next one that's gonna happen.
Well, the fifth one did
Remember
have
RX-7?
one. It was
The
like
RX-7
all-
was badass. The RX-7 was a wonderful. I agree. That was a beautiful car.
I think I told them when we watched it, but in the third one, that was the Nissan GTR R34 was my favorite, and then they came out in 6, the one that we stopped at, and the one that Dom has in that one is my favorite.
Zippy. Oh my god.
Habitat for Humanity.
I swear. But like yeah, like a lot of like it was like actual, street and drag racing, right? And then I can remember like getting to one of them like, do they just not do this anymore? Is it just driving really fast now?
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah,
all
that's
it is.
literally
Just
yeah.
you wait.
Like being an undercover cop and
Wait till we
driving
get
real
to number 7. Like that's where it really deters from street racing.
Yeah,
and now
the-
it's all about friendship and family. Like, is this like
Yes, family.
Fast Furious the anime basically? It's like
Yeah,
it's a
pretty
shonen
much.
anime.
How do you forget it's about family when
We have
We
seen
have seen
that.
5.
he mentions
yeah.
it every single movie at any given time.
Yeah, 5 got kind of deep with some of
What?
those.
What I think is interesting about Vin Diesel is just how much control he has. Stuff like he actually does own Riddick, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like when he's involved in something, you can tell
And
he like
did
really
that-
gets into
He
it.
did that one
Mhm.
movie that was based on his D&D character. I don't remember what it was. I just know he did the movie.
That's a great quote, Tater. Yeah.
I'm
What do
sure
you think
someone,
about that?
I'm sure someone knows the movie. The one that's based on his D&D character.
Let me look it up real quick.
Oh yeah, shit. I forget what that's called, but I know exactly what
Yeah.
D&D play.
Witch Hunter, yeah. Something like that.
Witch Hunter.
Oh right, I do remember. Yeah, the last Witch Hunter. Oh my god.
Yeah, Zippy. Yeah, that scene in Fast 5 is wild, and if you want to like the characters in the movie, you probably shouldn't think about the implications of it.
I don't think I've seen a movie I've disliked with Vin Diesel, if I'm being honest.
Hey, Verdant, how
Hey,
are you?
Verdant, how are you? Hi.
It's good to see you.
They
How
did
are
that
you?
without a flaw. They killed nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
yeah,
one
yeah.
person was injured during that entire escape.
That's a practical effect.
Wait, Street Sharks commercial?
Oh my god, I remember the Street Sharks.
I
My
love
mom
that
made a-
show.
My mom made my brother a Halloween costume for the Street Sharks when he was a kid.
What? How does that even work?
Street Sharks
She just-
was amazing.
Wait, you like the Street Sharks or like the Halloween costume?
The costume.
She just made it. She looked at it and was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it like this," and she made it.
Which one was he?
Oh, it was a blue one, I think. It was
Okay,
like
so
dark
I think
blue
he
or
was the
gray or
Tiger
something.
Shark.
My
Or
mom
no,
did that
he
a
would've
lot
been the
actually.
blue shark, because that makes more sense.
One year, my brother Mac, my brother Mac was the genie from Aladdin, like Disney's Aladdin. And I think they bought that costume. And
now I'm
then,
just looking up Street Shark cosplay.
oh my god.
Oh
and then
wow!
You can see a lot of weird animal cosplays.
she actually
Wow.
made she actually made
These are impressive.
my brother JJ a Prince Ali costume, and she was extremely proud of it. Yeah, my mom is pretty good at that. I mean, she's the one that helps me with my cosplays, so she's amazing. Shout out to my mom.
That was the best
outside.
non-explanation you could be about. How did they make the Street Shark costume? She made it.
It's simple. And just some things you just, simplicity.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't want to talk about is that I didn't know they were making because I know they've hinted at making another like Mortal Kombat movie, like the
Oh no, why?
not
Why
like
would you
a
do
live. I don't know if it was supposed to be live action or not, but I know
Don't
they were supposed
question
to
it,
do
Morgan.
another one. But I found out yesterday that they're making an animated one. And
Oh, an
it's
animated one could
called
be kinda
like
cool.
Scorpion's Revenge or something, and I was like, I'm really hyped for this.
Anytime now, like there is some kind of announcement that's like, we're going to be doing a live action movie of this game or this anime, I'm like, oof, do they have to? Do they really have to do that? But then as soon as I hear it's going to be animated, I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah, the
Son
animated
of a
ones are
bitch,
generally good.
I'm in.
There have been good live action video game movies, but they're in between, and I think part of that is just like people get like weird about making. So like, if you guys don't know the history of Pirates of the Caribbean is actually based off a theme park ride. But the people who wrote Pirates of the Caribbean were like, well, a theme park ride doesn't really have a massive amount of plot and character
It
development.
doesn't really have
gotta
a story. It's just
We're making a movie here, not a theme park ride, so we got to add in movie shit. But like, it feels like oftentimes people who make movies based on video games don't add in the movie shit. You got to add that in, right? It's a movie. Like
Another thing I didn't understand or don't and will never understand about people who make
Warcraft.
video game movies.
Warcraft Zippy is a good video game movie.
Video game movies, if you take it from the source material and stuff, everything is laid out for you. So like how they screw up the plot and like characters and like, certain points, it's like you have everything laid in front of you. You just gotta transition it into live action and into a movie format, and they screw it up somehow. And it's like, what? Oh, someone followed, so you're gonna hear the cat tag.
Are you? Why? I'm not going to be here for this. Like, goodbye. You guys are going
Also,
to have
I
to find
apologize.
a
That was
different house
loud
from
as
now on.
shit. 'Cause
If I can also, like, by the way,
Tron is also good. Yeah.
I swear, if
Oh yeah, Tron was good.
Tron was a game? Question mark.
Yes.
What?
Look,
What?
I'm young. All right, I don't. I know
Yeah,
Tron
sorry.
was the first animated
Tron
movie.
was a game. Tron was
my
a game.
God. Aw, Melly. But for one thing, like, do not turn your movies into whatever like the live action Death Note was. Okay. Like,
Oof. Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing there. One of my favorite things about that is that in the live action movie, the character Light, he freaked out when he saw Ryuk. And then another time, when the character who was supposed to be Misa was like, "Can I see the like what's that? What's that notebook?" He's like, "Well, I can't tell you about it. I'm not going to show it to you." And she's just okay. And he's like, "Okay, fine, I'll tell you." And in the anime, for one thing, he's a little bit weirded out when he sees Ryuk, but then he gets kind of like, "Okay, well, who are you? I need to know." And he was so hell bent on not telling anybody about the Death Note that he almost burned his house down for it.
What the
So
fuck?
yeah, I don't know.
That seems a little over dramatic,
Yeah.
if I'm being honest.
I also think it wasn't the problem with this. You're right, 100% right about the issues with the Death Note movie. I think also there's a certain level of like suspension of disbelief we have with anime where a lot of things will fly, which even if you saw the exact same scene in live action, it would look awkward.
Mhm.
And I think a really good example of this is the American remake of Old Boy. So like the original
Never
film
seen that.
Old Boy is like, it's kind of like surreal and nightmarish. And you forget about how like wild and wacky the plot is, and then when you see it in sort of this like toothless sort of like straight direct way, it's like, this is weird. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, and it's especially so with animation. Like, you'll watch stuff in animation, you'll be like, this is fine, and then you watch it in live action, you're like, I feel odd about seeing, because they're real people and they feel like they should be doing vaguely real things, and they're not. And
yeah, Josh Brolin was in it, Spurps. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, they didn't make it.
No, they didn't make it.
Just like how there was never a live action.
There was never a fourth Indiana Jones.
Yeah, there wasn't a fourth Indiana Jones.
They never did any of that. Definitely.
There's
only one Matrix 2.
That's true. I've only ever seen the first one because I heard the other two were not worth it.
But yeah, like anytime they do like an animated version though of something, I'm like, hell yeah. Like they did Castlevania. Exactly. If there's one thing that I can at least recommend that is like from video game, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's like that they're doing with that now, because I think now like some developers or like in like Netflix and stuff like that have streaming services have kind of realized that like animated, like cool animated shows that aren't necessarily just like marketed towards kids are popular now. Castlevania, guys, there's only 2 seasons out at the moment. Like, let me put this in like this kind of perspective. So I was super excited for it when it first came out. I watched it the day it came out, and then I binged it. I watched it like just one after another, and then there were only 4 episodes in the first season, and I literally was like, "Where are the rest of them? Are you
Spanish?"
No.
It was only a 4-episode season.
It's only 4 episodes in the first season. Which they do also Spanish, which they do that kind of often with certain shows. Parks and Recreation season 1 was 6 episodes. It's mostly because like then that way they're not putting all of this effort into one season for it just to get canceled. I never thought that Castlevania would get canceled, but
wait, it got canceled?
No, not canceled. Not Castlevania. Okay. No, I never thought that it would, anyways. But one of the bigger reasons also is because the Castlevania anime is extremely detailed, and the animation is really difficult to do because it's so detailed. But that's one that I would recommend. It's phenomenal. It's so beautiful. I will say though that it is gory. So for those of you who like don't exactly like gore all that much, you might wanna wait maybe a little while.
Because the only thing I know about Castlevania is that I think the director of it is doing a Devil May Cry anime as well.
Yes, that's another one.
I'm really hyped for it. I imagine
when I heard that,
we're both huge fans.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, that's definitely gonna do well if it's from the same developer. What else were they gonna do? There's like a whole bunch of different stuff that they're starting to do now. I'm pretty excited actually because I love animated stuff. I
think that's a good point what you were bringing up earlier, like not marketing animated stuff just for kids, because like there are a bunch of shows like we were talking about, like the Clone Wars is not just for kids, like
no,
Young
it
Justice
is not.
wasn't just for kids. A bunch of them, like, and even all the DC animated movies, like those are so much better than the actual like live action movies, and like they're not in any way, shape, or form marketed towards kids. Like they look like they should be, but they're not.
See, and that's the thing, because a lot of people just they automatically think because it's animated, it's a cartoon. So it's a tune, it's for kids, which is definitely not true with things. There were a lot of people that like when which weirds me out too, because The Simpsons has been out since the 1980s. So it's not like it's a new thing where there are like adult animated series.
Did Kaiser just spoil Rain or?
Hi, Kaiser.
Kaiser, you came in here with the raid emo, but is it just
hey,
you?
Kaiser. Kaiser's just raiding. I'm gonna start doing that anytime I just show up in a channel alone.
Solo
raid.
That's
it's
so
good
funny.
to see you, man. I hope you're having a really
Kaiser. But yeah, like I would really recommend. I mean, because there's a whole bunch of shows actually on Netflix that I really enjoy. That I've shown Rory a few of them, but like, I'm not saying that they are like adult cartoons, because Castlevania, that's definitely an adult cartoon. But Dragon Prince has an amazing storyline, and the animation's getting
Ooh.
better and better with each season.
I'm excited to watch more of that. That show is. We've watched like the first 2 episodes. It's really.
There's a really, really cute one called Hilda. That's like about this girl who can like.
You said Dragon Age? Is that like based on the game?
No,
or-
Dragon Prince.
Oh, Dragon
Dragon
Prince.
Prince.
Okay,
Unrelated
I,
to the
I,
game.
I heard
yeah.
Age for some reason. I was like, wait, they
it's-
have a.
If you guys liked Avatar, it's actually from some of the same writers. And the main character is played by the guy who played Sokka, Jeff Cena. So that's really fun too. But there's a show called Hilda, also on Netflix, that's extremely adorable, which is also like animated. It's about this little girl who can see like forest creatures and stuff like that, and it's really cute. The new She-Ra is really good.
I've
There's a
heard
lot that
that's
I
good. I'm gonna
recommend.
watch that, yeah.
And then the Clone Wars, guys, please watch the Clone Wars. And you got to do it by like
Well,
the IGN.
The Clone Wars isn't going to be on Netflix anyways. They're moving it to Disney
No, it's
Plus,
on Disney
and
Plus
then It's only going to be available for America or whatever. I thought I saw.
Oh, I don't know. I hope not, because I really recommend the Clone Wars.
There
But
was
if you guys,
there was a meme I saw that was like it announced that Clone Wars' final season was only going to be available to America, and then it was like
Not a problem.
everyone's VPN is like, this is America.
Not a problem.
but I do also recommend watching Clone Wars in the IGN order if you can. Everything makes a lot more sense. All the arcs kind of go together. And Rebels.
Fuck Rebels.
No,
Rebels is great.
I love
All right,
Rebels.
I've seen the first 2 episodes of Rebels. It looks really good so far. I've got to watch more of it.
I
but-
got to meet the guy that plays Zeb Aurelios, and he
I don't
is
even know who that is because I
super
didn't care
nice.
about Rebels.
Okay. Do you ever watch Toonami?
Yeah, I've seen Toonami.
Okay. So you know the voice of Tom the robot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is
That's
Steve
him?
Bloom. Yep, I got to meet him, and nicest guy I've ever met. Whoa, I just dropped my
Oh
phone.
yeah, Zeb.
Yeah, Zeb, I love him. He's
Yeah.
he's a really fun character. But honestly though, like Clone Wars, even though like it was on the Cartoon Network and everything, there were some parts I can remember watching it like all the way through, because I watched some of it when I was a kid. And some of it's not for kids. Like
No, it's not.
people get their heads sliced off.
There are real emotional scenes in like Clone Wars, like.
Clone Wars
Chopper is a
good.
great droid.
I love
And
him.
no-
I loved Rebels. It was cute. And actually had some pretty interesting elements to it.
The only part of Rebels I enjoyed were when characters from Clone Wars were brought back. So like I know there's that arc with well, spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it, but it don't matter.
Like, what?
Ahsoka comes back, and then Darth Maul comes back, and then
Hi, Viper. Poor Rory's like, yep,
the
no.
clones come back. So yeah, I mean,
It is a very good show. I love it. Aw, poor Rory. Rory, it's okay. You can come
It's
back
safe.
now.
It's
yeah,
safe.
what you're- I was just gonna be like, I was like, how are we supposed to tell him?
Hold on. Hey Viper, how's it going? It's good to see you again, my friend.
Oh my goodness,
Hey,
Viper.
All right.
And yeah, so like there's also a Clone Wars movie. I want to say that it's technically like the third one that
That-
you're supposed to watch or something like that.
What you call it? I thought the movie was like supposed to start the Clone Wars, so that's how it like.
Doing really well, Viper. Actually.
No, we usually, at least for the IGN, this is like George Lucas also is the reason why I tell everybody to do it. I think it's like an episode in season 3 or 2, I think. Another episode, I think, in season 1 or 2, and then it's the movie.
Because
and
I was,
it
I was
eventually-
under the impression it was the movie, and then it turned into what you call it?
No, at least for the IGN order is what I mean. It was really good though. But after that, I think eventually it kind of gets easier. You don't have to jump back and forth between seasons, but
Yeah.
that's how I would recommend watching it. It was a lot more enjoyable for me.
Yeah, that's how
but
we're
yeah,
watching it
check it
right
out.
now. So I will be able to report on the success of that order.
I'm very excited about it.
Me too. We may or may not be watching it immediately. Podcast ends.
Yeah, definitely not.
No.
Is Viper from Vix's?
Yes.
Viper is from Viper. I've seen Viper in mine and more. I can
Yeah.
only say that
He
much
comes
for
from
sure.
from Fabled Vixen though, and
Oh,
he's
we went
okay.
we went on a journey. We went on a journey together the first time because I remember that.
I was gonna say, I was like, I think I recognize the name, but I don't.
I think Vix rated me or something, or Viper came to me through Vix.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
because
and
wasn't
then
Vag
I
Vix
rated,
or-
and then I rated Tiff, I think. And then
wasn't
Tiff
wasn't
rated
Viper in your
Rory.
channel a lot?
No, Melly, you rated me on
Oh yeah, that's right.
one day. It was on my birthday actually.
Oh,
and
that's
when I
what
met
happened.
Viper. So yeah, because I remember
And-
that day. Yeah.
I just remember we did a big raid circle that day, and Viper followed me around then.
So Kaiser, I've not seen Picard yet, but I'm going to be watching it very soon. I'm very excited, and I was saying earlier how excited I am that it's in the Prime timeline because I much prefer that timeline.
Wait, is it your birthday?
No, he just put Fuel's birthday.
he's just
because
referencing the
you
fact
said
that.
Oh, okay.
But I'll see what I think about it. So next Wednesday, I'll have a review, whatever, of the first, a spoiler-free review of the first 2 episodes of Picard. And I'm aware if what you're referencing is what JJ did to the Prime timeline at the beginning of the 2009 film, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah,
But
we should make a sublink. That's true.
because he did do something to the Prime timeline before switching into the Kelvinverse, which is worth noting, and comes up, and I know for sure will come up in Picard. I will see what I think about that. That'll be interesting to know. I love Star Trek. Apparently so does Kaiser.
Yeah, I've never been a Trekkie. I feel like that was because I told you that I only saw the one episode, and you were like, that's not the best episode to watch.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, no, I know exactly. And I've been a Trekkie my whole life. I think I started watching Star Trek when I was
Y'all ready for this?
5. I think. And I started watching all this. Hey, Viper, thank you so much for the sub. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
I
was actually
welcome,
trying to.
welcome to the gang. J.J. Abrams play with timelines? No way. Yeah, he doesn't like doing that. Yeah,
Playing
not
with
Fringe.
timelines, you should see the Flash. Like,
He does
Oh,
it every
God.
time. Though. Like seriously, Fringe and Lost. By the way, if you've not seen Fringe, in my opinion, it's J.J. Abrams' best work. Go watch it right away, like right now. You cut your hair. Yeah, so me and Viper used to have the same haircut. And I cut my hair. I caved, man. It was a lot of maintenance. Plus,
Viper,
but I will
no-
say
the
Morgan
only-
likes my haircut, and that's all that matters.
the
so.
only logical reason for you now is to cut your hair just like his.
Yeah.
That's the only logical step. Because I think everybody here likes it, so he's keeping it. So now it's your move to do it.
Guys, your move. They
Doesn't he look so?
Oh, thank you, Spanish. Oh, you're sweet, Morgan.
Finger guns. I love
Yeah.
that.
Ash used to do that a lot on stream. Or freeze yourself until he grows it back. I mean, I don't think that's healthy.
Do it, man. Had this haircut for 7 years. Yeah, fair play. I had mine for a long while too, actually.
You don't have an afro though.
He used to.
Did he?
That's good zippy lore. Yeah, zippy lore, man. I'm telling you. They
I couldn't
read up
I
about it
couldn't
on the
picture
Zippy
Zippy
Wiki.
with, an afro. I'll be honest.
By the way, Zippy. It's going to be called the Zippy Wiki, by the way. It better be called that, okay? And nothing else.
What about the Das Pinhead
They-
wiki?
That's for the whole group.
thank you,
They
Mom.
all the different DOS pinheads will get their own. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Melly.
Yeah, I think you should have. You should
did
have.
it?
It goes-
It's supposed to
yeah.
be just or subscribed. You didn't command as.
Oh,
as
you
subscribed.
replaced the
Oh,
command name with yeah.
Hold on.
So now you gotta do edit and then just edit everything.
Yeah, we probably should get like a few more commands in there. Now that I think about it, it'd probably be good to have some timers actually also. Which
Don't we have an uptime? I thought I put one in.
no, I mean like a timed like a you know, like, hey, join the Discord or like subscribe here or follow.
like automatically, yeah. We're
perf commands for the perf.
if we start a Discord, we're literally gonna have a run.
Yeah, no, because like
There's so many fucking Discords.
I remember I brought this up a while ago. I was like, should we create one? And I was like, no, we're in way too many. Like that's not something we want to be. Like
that's why I don't have one on my channel.
Like 60 that I don't go in ever.
It's literally why I don't have one on my channel, is because like there was like a little bit of demand for some people, like, hey, is there a Discord? But then everybody who was like already a part of the community, like who comes from like Melly's or Morgan.
Okay, I don't think you edited
like,
it correctly. You're supposed to do commands, edit, and then
Here, let me see if I got it.
One and then do you have the proper qualifications to be a mod?
1 second.
I actually
Let me do this.
I think Viper actually does have the correct syntax on his
Oh, okay, cool.
command there.
Well, see, if you guys didn't use Wisebot, you wouldn't.
Hey, I know how to use Wisebot. Don't worry, I make
Stream
commands in Melly.
I'm not used to Nightbot. I use Stream Elements.
Nightbot is like the OG one. I don't know why.
I made Melly's Ash command with Wisebot exclusively because you refused to use it. I was like, okay, I'm learning how to use it.
No, because I learned Onkbot. I learned, which is now
because I did it correctly. It works.
No, but you have it still under command subscribe. It should be just subscribe or sub.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh, you don't want it to say subscribe. You just want to.
No, so to prompt it now, we have to put in command _ subscribe.
1 sec. I got this.
We wanted to just say sub or subscribe, so then you do ! sub and subscribe, and that'll work. It'll make sense once she updates it, and then you see the difference.
Okay.
Also, Viper, that's not the correct one. Yeah, there we go. See what Morgan did.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I didn't know you guys wanted it to say sub. I was just doing subscribe. So what's the difference?
Well, no, it was
because it was coming up as commands
command
underscore. But then I changed it, and
no, when you changed it to the exact same thing.
No, I didn't. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm a bot. Do you know me?
Are you a bot though? Are you gonna make us panels? And what was
Oh
the rest
yeah,
of
did you find our streamers become human channel? Are you gonna make us?
Oh my god.
I
love the that bot that just goes around and does that.
You know what's funny? Like I was in Rachel's, aka Pasta Disaster for the people.
Yeah, hold up. Yeah, let me do a quick. Carry on, do your thing.
And she was getting loads of those bots. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, why is it like all these channels I'm going to are getting all these fucking bots about, oh, I'll make your panels, oh, I'll do this. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, I love just like waiting for some of them sometimes, because one came in a Melly, and it was just like, hey, Sugar Melly, like I love your Sugar channel, and I just did like a
it
just popped up with something else.
I'm gonna make you panels or some shit. I was like, oh, gone out of here.
Melly had one the other day who I banned, and Melly didn't even know I was in chat. I was just learning chat, not doing anything. He popped up and gone. And you're like, hi, Rory.
And you know what?
I just like to troll them back now, because as soon as they drop it, I'm like, oh, I know what they're about to do. You know what I mean?
Well, I kind of love the ones.
Can you troll a bot though? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Zippy knows them too. I love
talk shows and podcasts.
Great.
I love that.
I'm going to do art for your channel. Yeah, that's exactly
Viper,
what it is.
That sucks, man. Whatever it is that's got you working that much, I hope you can get into something a little more comfortable.
Well,
Kaiser, you might want to check for the. We think it's a bot because, like, there's in Tiff's channel.
It's funny. It's usually whenever. It's not if I know when they call me Sugar Melly without the at. That's how I know, because nobody calls me Sugar Melly.
Kaiser, you might want to ban Feet and Wynn's channel, because there's an actual user named Feet.
There's a bot Feet. It's just whose name is just Feet.
The worst thing ever.
And I could see that being problematic.
Plumbing, someone's got to do it. Yeah, fair, man.
I honestly will feel bad though for like a person, the first thing they come into a chat and say, like
Siri, freaking Siri.
like just to be like trolly or something. Like somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna pop into the chat. First thing I'm gonna say is that like bot thing, and then they're just immediately gonna get banned.
Yeah, I mean that's not the
literally,
best troll, but you know, if
Yeah.
you're gonna go around doing that shit, you deserve to be banned.
One of the things I want to introduce the viewers to is our new schedule because it's highly relevant now at this moment.
Yes.
So from now on, we are gonna still be Wednesdays, but due to a bunch of changes, we're gonna change our schedule, and it's gonna be Wednesdays from 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern, and that will be our schedule for the foreseeable future.
And if anything changes, I'll like post it on the Twitter, and then we'll update all the commands and all the different channels. But
Exactly, yeah, and that new schedule works a lot better, for us.
Yeah.
So, we will be back next Wednesday. We're still taking guests. We're currently in the negotiation process, I believe. We're trying to figure out who our next guest is going to be. But yeah, we are still doing guests. It just won't be every week. We'll do it maybe every 2 weeks or something like that.
Alternate weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and at Shroud, yeah, I'll text them.
And Ninja.
When I was gone, did you guys talk about the article Melissa posted?
No.
Oh
No,
no, we
we
should talk
didn't.
about that. That one would be an interesting one actually to leave off on.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, because I only mentioned it because I saw him. I saw it Spanish, but Shroud.
All right, let me look at this.
Hey, Kaiser, do you know Megan? Have you been on her stream before? She does always have donuts. That's true.
The
I didn't know
you
you.
rate every so
Oh,
often,
yeah.
right? You rated
I-
her
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
I
she plays
rated her
Skyrim.
once. I rated her once because she was playing Witcher.
Oh, and
Yeah.
she plays Skyrim, and that's like.
Kaiser's
Randomly.
Dude, you
I-
rated
I-
her
it-
with
it-
me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah.
It was
They,
random. It was random too. I was just
Yeah.
like, who else is playing Witcher? And yeah.
I've been following
Maybe
her for a
that's
little
how
while
I
now.
maybe that's how I found her because I found her raid and then I raided her one time. She was playing Greedfall and I wanted to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe it was you that I found her from. I was
Yeah.
wondering.
she's great. She's a really good streamer. And she's been doing her first playthrough of Skyrim lately, which is always cool to watch.
and
As
actually-
Morgan knows, I will always watch anyone Skyrim.
Actually, just like kind of skimming through this this article that Melanie put on here, it was actually really interesting because they actually said something about like events like the closure of Telltale games, which actually was something like I was kind of thinking about when I even saw that in the first place, because that was like a difficult thing with them at the time because if I remember
Can
right,
you throw it in the chat so then people
Oh, yeah.
follow along
yeah, one sec.
if they feel like reading. Like
I found it very interesting and sad at the same time. There's the article, guys. Just because I do remember, like it was such like a big thing at the time because it happened so quickly. Because I feel like it was something like a week and a half or so before that they had hired people. Like one guy, I think in particular, had like moved cross country so he could work for Telltale, and then like a week and a half later he was fired. And a lot of them didn't get severance packages either. So I can understand this.
This isn't the article I meant. Melissa posted one about like specific
Streamers leaving
yeah.
Twitch, I assume.
Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah, but I mean we can talk about.
Oh,
both.
yeah. The
If everybody wants to see that one too, actually, it's just because Melly posted one. The last thing that she posted was about
the last thing. Yeah, exactly.
game
That was
developers supporting unionization. But there's the other one too, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's the other.
Well, no,
Oh,
that
wait,
wasn't
were
the
you-
one that
No.
Trev
Oh
was
my
talking
God.
about either, Morgan. That was
Oh my God.
I did all the research this week, you guys.
She did.
I did. You're talking
Melly's-
about the one about Twitch streamers leaving.
Okay, there we go. Okay,
Yeah,
I actually thought that was the one. I didn't look at the link for it. Okay, there we go, guys. Well, now you guys have some reading to do. Okay, there
So,
you go.
the
Melly's
main
the
thing.
MVP here.
It's talked about. It's a decently long article actually that talks about people leaving Twitch because a lot of streamers. I'm sure you guys have heard the many news stories about large streamers leaving Twitch.
To name a few: Ninja, Shroud, Disguised Toast, King Gathalion,
there's been a few that have
and some other
left,
people who aren't like important.
it's not necessarily leaving for Mixer too, because there have been some that have left for YouTube
Facebook.
and some that have left
Yeah,
for Facebook.
someone left
as well.
for Facebook Gaming. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
there goes your career.
Like-
like
The thing, like,
I could be wrong, because like I can remember one time, like when I was at work, like because Melanie Mack is like one of the people that like does like the TV spot things for that. Like she's one of the hosts, and I can remember one time because I had followed her a long time ago. And I remember her talking about like, yeah, I was streaming God of War, and I'm like, where? I haven't seen you on Twitch in months. And then I realized that it's because she switched over to Facebook Gaming. Like that's
Yeah.
actually where she is now. Melanie Mack is actually on Facebook now.
and Kaiser definitely has a point about the like payouts being large.
mhm.
And I mean, the thing is, like, all I can think about is like how much different, like, the difference between like me and like Ninja is not just that he has infinitely more viewers than me. It's also that he's on Twitch for a completely different reason than me. And like,
Yes.
I would never leave Twitch for Mixer because I'm on Twitch because my friends are here and I like
Yeah.
hanging out with them. And it's like
it's
he's on
more
Twitch
so
for
the
money,
community.
like
That's-
well, as a job. I shouldn't say.
That's,
he's just-
Yeah, it's
that's
the
the
community
difference,
more.
though. Yeah, like you can tell that they don't. Well, I'm not gonna say they don't necessarily care, but they don't. But like bigger streamers like that, like Ninja, like how many people do you think Ninja knows from his chat? Like personally, like we all know each other, and then like all the people in our chat we know to some degree. But like
Yeah, like
in
at
a,
the
in a,
Ninja's
in a chat
really
like
hot.
that, it's like Ninja knows maybe like one mod, and that's it.
Well, yeah, because I think I went into, I mean, nothing against Ninja, don't get me wrong, you know, like they're just, you know, there are
Yeah,
just
he's
some
the homie.
streamers
We-
that I
we
end up
talk to him all
watching.
the time.
Yeah, but you know, there are just some streamers that I just didn't watch, you know, because it, you know, kind of depends on like what game they're playing. Like I'm not really into Fortnite, so I ended up just not watching Ninja all that much.
I bet Zeus was really torn when he left.
Who is this TL Breezy guy? But one time I actually did go into his chat just to see what it was like, and at the time there were 75,000 viewers, and I think somebody had donated something like, no, I don't want to say it was 200,000. I think it was like, no, yeah, maybe it was like 200,000 bits or something like that. Yeah, 200,000. I was thinking 20,000. 200,000 bits, which was a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That was just one person too, which I found very fascinating. But yeah, it's interesting, and like just watching the chat, like the chat was just zipping by. It was really interesting. You know, versus like with us, you know, we have like our most of the time it's our friends coming in or like somebody new coming in. We can actually have a conversation with them versus somebody having a chat that goes by that fast. They just have to focus on the game, you know.
Yeah,
'Cause there's,
I
like,
don't know if any
There's
of you
no way they can.
have been in a chat like that, but like if you have over like a couple thousand people, it's like you put one thing in chat, it's just like it's like oh, it's gone. It's like what?
It's no, like
Yeah.
it's like with me, and like I think about my chat and the people come into my chat. Like I've talked to all of them basically numerous times. I've met a high percentage of them in person. Like obviously, I've met my girlfriend in person, and I've met Trev in person, and MK and John,
Yeah,
and like Bleeze,
well,
and so many
you
people.
knew Tiff beforehand, but yeah.
And I knew Tiff before I ever came on this thing.
I got to
and
meet
it's like,
Melly, you know, not to brag about it or anything.
you met your girlfriend in person? That's impressive. I agree.
I mean,
Damn, gross.
It's like it's crazy. Like I know, like you know, I know so many of these people. And like
surprised
you know,
with-
how many
with
times
that,
have I played games with Tater? Right, like a ton.
I'm surprised Roy didn't try to like force everybody and like peer pressure people into Laracon too with that.
Oh, missed opportunity. You're right.
Which you
Like,
guys should all
I've-
totally
I've,
go.
I've met so many of
Mm.
these people on this call. I was like, and you can too if you go to Laracon too. That would have been a great segue.
Tater's right. One day me
that'll
and
be
Tater are gonna
that'll
meet
be the
up,
commercial. That'll
and
be
it's
the
gonna
ad
be a good day.
for Telericon too.
Basically, yeah.
Guys, we're getting near the end of the. We're technically past the end of the. But this is like our after show. It's
Yeah.
very special. But we've got to take off. But thank you so much for stopping by, all of you, and hanging out, and for the subs and all of that. And thank you so much. I don't know if Ash is still here, but Ash, thank you so much for the raid. We really, really appreciate it. and for just the continual support of this channel that you've provided. One day we're gonna have Ash back on the podcast, guaranteed.
So that way she can leave abruptly and cuss out one of the hosts, and then we'll
Yep.
just be sitting here like,
Flip
what
him-
the fuck
flip him
just
the bird.
happened?
I didn't know she was playing Final Fantasy VII. That's interesting. I should.
No,
Final
Final
Fantasy
Fantasy 8.
talk to her.
She finished.
Oh, I didn't see all the eyes.
Yeah, when you have
Finished,
three
she
strikes,
finished
it's
Death
like,
Strand. She finished Death Stranding and then started Final
Yes.
Fantasy.
Yeah, so
Oh,
she just
cool.
started that today.
And then
oh, that's excellent.
Andrew,
That'll be a fun-
You know, it's the guy from Kingdom
Thank you,
Hearts.
guys.
yeah,
Tater,
Andrew
you know.
attacked Morgan over that.
Yeah, Tater and Andrew cannot attack me.
Wait, what? What happened?
She got
So I
got
made a
shot
joke.
in Ash's chat.
And I was expecting it to be Trev. I was like, Trev got me. Because I said,
Oh
yeah,
my God,
oh,
Bad
look.
Karma's here.
Hey, bad karma.
Hi, Bad Karma. I was like, hey, it's the guy from Kingdom Hearts, Kappa. And then my comment got deleted, and I was like, Trev got me. And then Andrew came up, and he was like, sorry, I had to do it. And I was like, Andrew, how could you?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I sat there and I was
We'll
like,
have to,
that
we'll
wasn't
have
even
to-
me that time.
Andrew was on fire today. I don't know.
We'll have to clean Andrew the next time.
he, he was extra spicy today.
Extra
For sure.
spicy.
Extra
His
spicy.
EUIV is on Humble Bundle.
Oh, wait, I know this. I know this.
It's a test. It is a test.
Shoot. We've talked about it before, too.
Okay, EUV, I think, or UV is a alcohol brand, but that's not what that is.
Okay. That's
Yeah, it's on Humble Bundle.
That's
Listen, I don't know
Okay.
these, like...
Alright, wait a minute.
I'm the good cop mod,
Is
says
it-
John.
Is it
John,
Europe
it's hilarious that you
4?
say that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because in my chat, I have 3 mods. These 3 people I'm with right now, and the chat refers to them as Morgan is the good cop, Trev is the bad cop, and Melly is the cool aunt.
Yep.
That's the colloquial way. Of
No,
That's
the
about
cool
right.
aunt with alcohol is the
Yeah,
specific
yeah.
one.
yeah,
The
yeah.
white claw.
The wine
claw.
ant.
So okay, I will look into that, Zippy.
Oh man,
Um,
Zippy.
We should do a raid.
Yes.
There's a lot of people on.
There's a lot
Yes,
of
there are.
If she's still on, I actually would recommend a girl in her game, which I think she is.
She is still on, yeah.
Because she's a super fun
I
person,
think so.
so I do
Yeah,
actually
she's
recommend
cool.
her.
Yeah, okay, check.
So-
We don't want a flight risk situation, so...
Yeah, okay, no, I'm on her chat right now. She's there. So guys, we're gonna raid Megan. It's her first time playing Skyrim.
Oh,
Did we already do it?
I think we accidentally just raided immediately.
oh my god!
Wow. 2